Welcome back to the Gather in Place podcast. I am Joe Seaman, and this is my lovely bride,
Hello.
Hope, sitting right beside me. And
I never know how to respond to that. I'm very appreciative that you say that, but I never know how to respond.
Yes. So, I love this new season. Like, it's going to be different backdrop. Like, it's a beautiful backdrop.
Yes.
So, anyways, what are we talking about today?
My favorite.
The differences.
Favorite season in the world. It is sweater weather.
We are so
I'm
different
so
when it comes to
excited.
this. So different.
I love sweater weather. I love it. I love it. It's my favorite season. You can always put layers on. There's only so many that you can take off legally. Therefore, I am a firm believer in it being colder. I like fall. I love winter. We're in winter. I love early spring when it's so cold. I like to go to the beach with a sweatshirt on. That is me. Those are my jams. I don't like the dreariness, but I love the temperature. So if the sun is shining and it's 40 degrees.
Oh my gosh.
It's
Miserable.
the best. It's the best.
That's terrible.
Currently, I am burning up and he is cold.
I am freezing. I'm about to grab that blanket off the
And I'm about to turn the fan on.
and cover up with it.
I'm about to turn the fan on.
When we're riding in the car, like you can tell without even seeing who is on
Yes.
what side, you could just tell by
Yes.
the
Temperature controls.
The temperature control because
80.
My seat
60.
warmer is going to be on. My steering wheel warmer is going to be on.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be on like high.
80. He's 80 through 84 all the time.
So if it's below like 80 degrees,
I'm the opposite. My seat's on air conditioning and I'm on 60. I'm low. As
Even
low as
in
it
the
will go.
winter, she's
Even
that
in the
way.
winter.
Yeah,
and
not
I
me.
blame that on you.
not me.
Partially, it's hormones, but I blame it on you as to why I would rather be cold than
Why is
hot.
that?
Because when I was growing up, I lived in the second floor of our house, and Mom didn't. They didn't really. It's going to sound bad. It's not bad. Mom just didn't really want to run the air conditioner that much during the summer because she would tell me to open my windows and have a fan blowing. So I never really grew up like with it being 68 degrees at night when I went to sleep in the middle of the summer. But when I married you, you had that junk cranked down, and you have always, always, always had the fan on high, even in the winter. Mm-hmm. Always.
But I may be covered up in.
And there's
5
also a fan
blankets.
on you.
Yeah.
There's one blowing on you and one above you. Mm-hmm. So it's your fault. I just blame you. But anyway, there's that. So
Mm-hmm.
I love cold and he loves
I love hot. Like, give me 100-degree weather any day of the week. I love it being hot, sun shining, sweat, humidity.
Ew,
like, I love it.
no.
I love that. Yeah.
I don't know that I want to go to New York all the time because we went to a trade show one time.
We went to New York.
And it was during the polar
I think
vortex.
it was 2014. And it was the polar vortex.
It was so cold.
Had to come through. Even the New Yorkers were cold and saying that they weren't even like going outside as much as they were used to going because it was so cold.
Yeah.
And we had booked this. So this was the
Double-decker
first time I had
bus.
ever been to New York. I think you had been.
No, I've never been.
So first time both of us had been. So
and only time.
Of course, we have to do the touristy things.
Yes, I was going to get on that bus.
We were going to do an open, like one of those open.
Like a dummy.
What's it called?
It's the open air bus. It's a double-decker open air bus.
Yes, that you do like the tour of downtown, like of New York City.
I've never been that cold in my life.
I don't even know what the people were saying. I think my brain was froze because I couldn't hear anything. I couldn't see anything. My eyes were froze from just, it was it was miserable. And the only thing I remember is getting off of that bus and going into this coffee shop.
Yes.
And the coffee wasn't even hot enough. Like it was hot, but it wasn't even hot enough to like thaw me out. Because I was just frozen. But I
remember
have no
wrapping
idea.
a scarf around my neck, around my face, like breathing into the scarf, so much so that it was kind of up over my eyes, so that when I walked into FAO Schwartz and I took my scarf off, like my makeup would just like drain down my face. It was just so, anyway. It was that. Anyway.
Not fun.
That's the only time.
When people are like, oh, don't you want to go to New York? Or, we have some friends that plan trips to go to New York. And I'm like, sorry, y'all take it. I don't ever really want to go back because it was just not. We probably do need to give it another chance.
I would like to give it another chance. I just don't want to go polar vortex. But all that to say, we are polar opposites. And I used to think that it was just me and hormones. I mean, let's just be honest.
Also talk about how small the hotel room. So I'm thinking a regular hotel room. Yeah, okay. I think this was a Hampton Inn or something.
Yeah, it was.
At downtown New York. And the room was all of the size of this coffee table. We literally open the door and have to fall into the bed because that's how small the room was. I don't even know that there was room for our bags on the floor.
No, it was really small.
It was so small. So that was an eye-opening experience.
The whole thing was eye-opening.
Yeah.
It was fun,
however, I will tell you, the one thing that we both said about that trip, didn't matter what time of day or night, we felt completely safe. Mm-hmm. Walking all downtown New York, our hotel was not on a main strip or anything. We had to go down 2 or 3 alleys. Never felt unsafe. It was 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night when we'd go back some and never felt unsafe, did we?
No.
Yeah, it was completely safe.
That was a fun trip.
I do remember a really, really great Italian restaurant.
Oh, that was good.
I can't remember the name of it, but
Danny told us about that one.
I remember
it was good.
It was a phenomenal Italian restaurant there in New York.
But he's trying to get away from the fact that
we're talking about the different. Our temperatures are so different. My hands are freezing. Mm-hmm. I've got a jacket in the truck. I'm gonna probably have to go get for the next episode.
So that's my philosophy, and this is the stories we want to tell you today. Because Joe he'll just say I'm cold, and he'll be in shorts, and maybe a pair of socks, and he'll go turn the heat on. That's what he did this past weekend.
I'll have a blanket on me.
No, you little fibber. This past weekend, we were at the lake house, at Mimi's lake house, and I walked through the kitchen. I'm like, I am burning up. And the kids are saying they're burning up. We have guests with us. They didn't say they were burning up, but they looked like they were burning up. I didn't say anything.
I may have snuck the heat on.
And I looked, and I was like, surely he didn't turn the heat on. Joker had the heat on 74. It was on 74.
No.
And I went to tap it. He goes, don't turn that heat off. Don't turn the air on. I was like, go put more clothes on. Sweat was rolling down my face. There's temperature control for a reason. And that is so you can acclimate your body to the environment you're in. The majority rules, by the way. And typically, the majority does not rule. Typically, in our home, the boys side with you. But even as of last night, there was a conversation from Kessler and Cade, and for myself, Kessler, and Cade to all be on the exact same page and tell you that we're boiling hot is saying something.
If y'all have not picked up yet, this is Hope's world, and we just all live in it.
That's not true. The point I was just making, it was me, Kessler, and Cade, because it was so hot. And you wouldn't put more clothes on. You'll sleep in the bed, and you're like, I'm like, put a sweatshirt on. Put socks on.
I can't sleep in a sweatshirt, though.
Do something.
You can't do that,
and he's like, I can't do it. And I'm going. So Kate the other night woke up in the middle of the night and turned the air down to 68.
And I was hardly could get out of the bed because it was so cold. Yes. So anyways, we have that. We are very different.
We're very polar opposite.
When it comes to temperature. But when I get cold, it's so dumb. When I get cold, I go into these almost
I know
shaken seizure fits, and I can't stop.
And it's a
so
residual.
I'm trying to avoid that because I feel crazy when I'm.
We were at a fishing tournament the other morning, and I knew he was cold. I could look at him and tell that he was cold. And you were doing this whole mind over matter thing because you were the only male at that point on the dock, and it was a bunch of women, me and the other moms, and you were trying to hold it together because he was about to do.
They're all in leggings and no socks.
Well, I was smarter than that. I knew it was going to be cold, so I had.
Crazy. I'm bundled up. And
they were new. They're new fishing mamas. They hadn't learned that part. It's hot in the afternoon and it's freezing in the morning, and they hadn't learned that yet, but. All that to say, you were about to shiver, and he would not, you
I wanted
talked
to send
yourself.
my kid off. So.
I know, like you talked yourself off the ledge there, like through it. So I thought that was pretty cool. But anyway, so sweater weather.
How did we get on the subject?
I don't know, because I'm hot and you're cold. But anyway, there we go. So what are some things that we do as a family? This is something I want to talk about. There's some things that we do when it does get colder. Germs become more of an issue. Colds, different things like that become more of an issue. Seasonal allergies, believe it or not, for our family do not tend to bother us during the summer. Some people, it may be spring that really hits them, but for our family, it tends to hit in the winter and the fall and winter. And so there are some things that we do as a family to try to elevate our immune systems, and just we've been doing this since 2019, the fall of 2019, before the year that really didn't happen. 2020, I mean, it did happen, but it just felt like it was so chaotic that, anyway, whole nother subject. We started doing things like plant-based supplements that we could do to just boost our immune systems. When we do have some little respiratory discomforts, we have a local herbalist that is here in North Augusta that we go and see, and she'll come up with like tinctures that we do, like a respiratory support. There's, let's see, stinging nettle is one that we do. I'm trying to think of all the ones. Joe just
lays them out.
Joe just takes whatever I tell him to take.
What do I need to take? And so my life is in your hands.
Yes.
At that point.
Now.
So you could really put out something that if I ever aggravate you
So
too much.
I will say this. Here's the deal. I do believe in modern medicine, and clearly Joe has just benefited from that after the season we've just been in. But I do think that there are some things that we can do, like with food, because we're talking about going on a better food journey. So the anti-inflammation meal way of eating that we're eating right now, which is Mediterranean, that will help with it, as well as just light exercise, water, like Celtic sea salt. There's just so many different things that we can get, and that's why the Mediterranean is so focused on making sure that you do whole, fresh foods, because there's so many vitamins and so many nutrients that are in that food. Joe's eyes are glazing over. Again, he just takes whatever I put in front of him.
What do I need to take, Hope? And there's like all these things. And so
there is. There's and it works. And that's the thing is, knock on wood.
But you have a huge interest in this.
I really
you would
do.
actually like to.
I really do. And I really want to take classes. Like, I really want to take classes at some point. That is my dream. But.
And you just don't learn things off TikTok.
No, you can't.
You got to be careful what you.
You have to be careful.
Be very careful what you learn on.
What
TikTok.
you learn on. You have to like cross-reference all of that. Just because so and so is taking ashwagandha does not mean you need to take ashwagandha. But it may be something that's beneficial for you in other areas. And so, I always say, if you don't have a local herbalist, you're always welcome to call ours. It's Ashley Murphy at Beacon Naturals. But find a local herbalist. It's not woo-woo. It's more of a natural way of handling things. Now, I'm just going to be 100% honest with you. If it's the middle of the night and something's affected me and I need immediate relief, I am still 100% on board.
Going to that medicine cabinet,
taking
grab some
medication.
NyQuil.
I will take some NyQuil in a skinny minute. Now, everyone will agree with that, but I am about 75% more on a natural level and about 25% let's go for the medication if we need to.
Do you remember a few months ago? Well, it might have been last year when I took like a capful of NyQuil. We were at the lake, and I couldn't open my eyes. Could not even open my eyelids for like half of the next day.
Yeah, but you were also having like an episode.
Yeah, but it was just so crazy. Because
one
I'm
of your
like, I can hear what y'all are saying.
Yes,
I just can't open my eyes. I'm so tired. Like, I can't open my eyelids.
You were having a gastro session episode before surgery, and you were having.
But I just needed to take a little bit of NyQuil because the natural stuff wasn't
cutting it.
Wasn't touching it.
And that worked too well, so maybe not take as much.
I took a little bit of NyQuil.
Joe
like, it wasn't even a lot. It was a little bit of NyQuil. And
but
like, I'm laying on the couch the next day, and I'm like, I can hear everything y'all are saying, and I just can't open my eyes. And I'm just laying there, like I just can't open my eyes. So
he just can't
be careful with NyQuil.
With NyQuil. But so with sweater weather, Drew has never seen that video. We just realized that. So we just showed it to him before we started this podcast. I didn't know anyone on the planet had never seen that. But if you haven't, you should look it up. It's really fun. But I think...
So that's what we do.
Yes. We try to do natural. We try to eat as clean as we can. Doesn't mean that we don't roll through fast food. There I go, acknowledging the timer again. Sorry. Oh, Joe, you're not acknowledging the timer.
You got to get better with your poker face, okay? So
I'm very transparent. Probably to a fault. But anyway, so those are some of the things. If you have any questions about that, I would love to, and you want to get help from somebody, not me, I'll point you in the right direction.
Just
we
message
are
us.
more than happy to help in that arena because there is so much. And again, like you said, we all love TikTok, but your medical advice probably shouldn't come from there. Cross-reference. Always cross-reference.
And actually, she's gonna talk to you. She's gonna find out what the root of the problem is, what kind of other stuff you got going on, and things like that. And
which kind of briefly too, we also see a functional medicine specialist versus a regular.
Well, just give our whole life history.
I mean, I am. People need to know this because sweater weather comes around, they're sick, they're tired, especially this time of year.
I will tell you,
when this airs, they're going to be
functional medicine doctor.
Yes.
PA, what do we say?
Both. They're in the same office.
So, game changer.
Game changer.
Big game changer.
It really is. And it's worth it.
There's a place for traditional medicine,
yes.
traditional doctors. And then there's a place for
what I love about functional medicine is they get to the root. So they do blood panels that are completely different. The only unfortunate thing is insurance doesn't help with that. So it is something to plan for. But twice a year, getting our panels done, knowing where we're at, going to the herbal shop and saying, here's my panel. This is what she suggests I do, not do. And having Ashley work with us on that, it really does help. It doesn't mean that we don't still have things from time to time, but overall we do try to stay as healthy as possible, and that's one of the ways we do it. So if you're starting a new journey this year, and not only for health, everyone wants to lose weight at the first of the year, we all do, but
I think through if you just make your health priority,
yes,
like the other part, if you need to lose weight, will come with that.
I think so too.
So that's a wrap.
That's all
on
we
this
have
one
for today.
Because I'm fixing to get up and bump that heat up a little bit.
And I'm fixing to turn the fan on. So
Drew's like, oh no.
Poor Drew. Poor Drew.
And Hope's like, I'm out of here.
I'm about to be out. So,
but anyways, thank y'all for joining us for another episode of the Gathering Place podcast. We appreciate all of our viewers.
Really
like, share, comment this episode out, and we will catch y'all on the next one.
That's right.